My next guest is Bruce Sellery. Bruce is a fabulous, best-selling author of Moolah Law, Why Smart People Do Dumb Things with Their Money. I'm one of those people. And what you can do about it. He's a money columnist on CBC Radio, Money Sense, and Cityline. He presents to audiences across North America about finances, career management, and productivity. Let's get Bruce in here.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Bruce. How are you?
I am well. I don't know. Can we say Happy Bell Let's Talk Day? Can we say that? Can we celebrate it? It's not like it's a Hallmark holiday, but I think there is so much. Did you get me a card? Is there a card? Is there a card?
I should get a Bell Let's Talk Day card. I think so. Yeah. I've been saying Happy Bell Let's Talk Day for a while myself. So I think that's totally fair game. Now, talk to me about money. That was a hard segue. I'm interested in knowing how financial stress has been weighing on people's minds, particularly, now in the course of the pandemic where there's so much uncertainty, but just in general. How do you find in the writing and the reporting that you do that finances impact people's mental health?
Oh, it is a pure correlation. It is a massive, massive impact. If you think about all the tools that we need to learn how to use in life, money is, I would say, by far the most fraught. So think about a screwdriver or a NutriBullet or a microwave oven or a car or a computer. There are so many tools that we all need to learn how to use, and we just kind of like learn or don't learn or whatever. With money, we get super weird. It is very difficult to talk about. It can make us feel inadequate. We can do ridiculous things with it, and it can be very, very scary. But I think when we think about it in those terms, if we think about it as a tool, then we can start to think about how can I get better at using it as a tool, and a direct connection to financial wellness and to mental health, which has been a really, really tough thing in the last 10 months for people. I think it's really important to delineate the reality that we are in a tale of two pandemics. So there are people who are listening to us right now who are dealing with serious pressures, but they've got a balance in their bank account that is increasing because they are working from home. It's not easy. They've got a kid 20 feet away e-learning, maybe multiple kids e-learning. But that's the sort of the frame for their financial for their stress. Other people literally are relying on government assistance, and there's nothing but that support from the feds that is between them and not even having a roof over their head.
Yeah. So Bruce, sorry, could I get you to just bump up your audio a little tiny bit? Your mic?
Yeah, I can even bump up my microphone. Let's see. How's that? Is that any better? Do you have better sound for me here? I'm just gonna. Is it much better? I'm even gonna raise it so it's in the shot.
Oh,
how's that?
Now you're seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, it is. That's right. I could turn and show you my ring light if that would be helpful for the environment.
No, that's much better. So thank you for explaining this, because I think acutely right now we all feel so many stressors happening, of course, but financial stressors have been one of those chronic things that are just always there. So how have you noticed people dealing with this? Are they finding ways of actually navigating? You can't just make money doesn't grow on trees, as they say. So how do you?
It does not. Here's what I'd say. People who are dealing with it powerfully. So there are people who are dealing with it not so powerfully and people who are dealing with it powerfully, is they're able to delineate between what's in their circle of influence and what's in their circle of control, which I know is like a model that probably dates back. I think it's Covey. I think it's, 25, 30 years old. But when you think about all the things that there are to focus on and do when it comes to your money, there are many things that are actually within your control, right? Like you can control if you, file your taxes on time for the most part. You can control what you pay at the grocery store to a certain extent. What you can influence is your income, do a good job, ask for a raise. But then there are so many things that are outside of your influence or your control: the performance of the stock market, the ability of your restaurant to open because of the lockdown restrictions in your particular community. So I think the first thing for people who are handling this powerfully is to focus on what they can control and to know that that is limited, that is finite, but that there are things that they can do on that front. And, for some people, it's as simple as getting the paperwork organized on tax prep or whatever it is, purging the files, shredding old credit card statements. That gives people a little bit of, I accomplished something. I might not have been able to do 12,000 things, but the one thing I did was I got sorted out for my tax planning, whatever it is.
Now, we talked when I had you on the Living Well podcast from Morneau Chappelle a little bit about pandemic spending. Are we still seeing this happen as a trend where now that people are home all day and they're buying a lot of stuff on Amazon or whatever else it is? Is this still a trend that we're seeing continue?
It's still a thing. And I think we're in second wave of the virus. We're in second wave of pandemic spending, in part because there's this ongoing insight that we're going to be doing this for even longer. And I'll tell you, for myself, I have been for 10 months putting my laptop on 6 cookbooks and my microphone on a cake plate. I am in the media every day. So it's ridiculous how I am jerry-rigging this crazy system. So I finally bought a proper stand for my laptop and a proper stand for my microphone. So I mean, that's my thing. Other families are looking at what else could they do because, the trampoline's not getting used at this time of year. So I think we're still seeing a bunch of that. And I think a bunch of that is healthy, right? So this is a time in which we've had to batten down the hatches. It is way longer than anyone would have ever expected. And for some families, that means I'm running up debt. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pay off my credit card in full, but there is a part of that spending that is, I actually don't call it pandemic spending. I call it sanity spending. And for some people, it's like, yeah, I really need that. I need that. Give that to me right now. It's an electric blanket and it's helping me.
Yeah, it's like it's seeking comfort, it's seeking whatever emotional need it is that it's filling. So then how can people recognizing this, presumably, or I guess you shouldn't assume anything, but they're not spending unmindfully, that they know that they're doing it. So then how can they put mechanisms in place to deal with that debt later on that they might be accumulating?
Yeah, I think, listen, the objective for all of us is to have absolutely no consumer debt. That is a tall order, especially if you've had a disruption in your income. I am quite closely connected to the arts community, and that world has been decimated. The world of restaurants and travel decimated. So it's a bit of a different category. And I think as we provide further nuance about financial wellness, it's the tale of 2 pandemics. It's probably the tale of 200 pandemics, because the advice that I would give to someone who is fully employed, maybe their spouse is fully employed, is probably a bit different than the people who are like, listen, this is all I have. I've got the government supports and that's it. How do I ensure that I can still roll out of bed and, make myself some breakfast and not, cry myself to sleep every night? It's a very different and very nuanced challenge to help people find their own way, especially when you look on social media and you see these people who are having these very normal lives, and it's so counter to many people's actual day-to-day experience.
Well, fortunately, Bruce, we have people like you giving us a reality check, letting people know that there are real people out there who are both struggling and being incredibly resilient and navigating these challenges together. So I hope with the work that you do, we can bring, there's a certain stigma, I think, around talking about money. I hope we can bring that out of the shadows as well and get people the help that they need.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bruce Sellery is best-selling author of Moolah Law, Why Smart People Do Dumb Things with Their Money and What You Can Do About It. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.